Hi everybody, welcome back to our third reading session, and today we're going to be reading chapter 3 of The Adventures of the Wishing Chair. But before we do that, I'm just going to have a quick recap on what we've been reading so far. So in the story we're introduced to Molly and Peter, who went on an adventure for their mother. They were going to look for a birthday gift for their mother, and they were going to an antique shop to have a look. Now, well done those of you who had a guess of what the word antique means. You're right, antique means old, something really old and almost sometimes precious. So they went to the antique shop to look for an old vase or something that their mum might like. But whilst they were there, they met some other characters and they were distracted by this chair. Do you remember they jumped onto the chair and they were feeling a bit scared and wanted to go home? And the chair seemed to grow wings, and when they were wishing they were home, the chair took them home. So we found out the chair was a bit magic. And then in chapter 2, the chair took them on another adventure. Do you remember where they went? Yeah, they went to the giant's castle, and whilst they were there, again, the wishing chair brought them home, but this time they didn't go alone. They brought a little friend home with them, a little Pixie. And when they came home, it was left just that we know that Pixie was left in the playroom with them. So I don't know about you, but I had so many questions about what was going to happen to the Pixie, little Chinky, and what was going to happen to Molly and Peter. Was anyone going to find out they had a Pixie living with them? Were they going to go on another adventure? Who knows? Well, today we're going to find out, okay? So get yourself comfortable and we'll start reading chapter 3. Now, chapter 3, the name of it, it's called The Grabbit Gnomes. Okay, so let's see what this is going to be about. Okay, and we will begin, okay? It was such fun to have a real-life Pixie to play with. Molly and Peter went to their playroom every day and talked with Chinky, the Pixie, who they'd so cleverly rescued from the giant's castle. He refused to have anything to eat because he said he knew the fairies in the garden and they would bring him anything that he needed. Pixie, will you do something for us? Asked Molly. We can't be with the magic chair always to watch when it grows wings. We've got to be in the house. But if you could watch it for us and come and tell us when you see it's got wings, and then we could just rush to our playroom and go on another adventure. Oh, it would be lovely if you could do that. Of course, said Chinky, who was a most obliging, merry little fellow. I'll never take my eyes off the chair. Well, will you believe it? That very night, just as the little Pixie was going off to sleep, and the playroom was in darkness, he felt a strange little wind blowing from somewhere. It was the chair, and it was waving its wings about. Chinky was up in a trice, and he ran out of the playroom to the house. He knew which the children's room was, and he climbed up the old pear tree and knocked on the window. It wasn't long before Molly and Peter, each in their warm dressing gowns, were running down to the playroom. They lit a candle and saw the chair's red wings once more. Come on, cried Peter, jumping into the chair. Where are we off to this time, I wonder? Molly jumped in too, and Chinky squeezed himself beside them. The chair was very full now. It flew out of the door and up into the air. The moon was up and the world seemed almost as light as day. The chair flew to the south and then went downwards into a strange little wood that had blue and green shine. Hello, hello, we're going to visit the Grabbit Gnomes, said the Pixie. I don't like that. They grab everything they can, especially things that don't belong to them. We must be careful they don't grab our wishing chair. The chair came to rest in a small clearing near to some queer toadstool houses. The doors were in the great thick stalks and the windows were in the top part. No one was about. It was so quiet. Oh, do let's explore this strange village, cried Molly. I do want to explore. Well, hurry up then, said the little Pixie nervously. If the rabbit gnome sees us here, they will soon be trying to grab this and the other. The two children ran off to the toadstool houses and looked at them. They were really lovely. How Molly wished she had one at home in the garden. It would be so lovely to live in one. Whatever is Chinky doing over there? Said Peter, turning around to look. He's got a rope or something. Oh, said Molly. Let's not bother about him, Peter. Do look here. There are 6 little toadstools all laid ready for breakfast. Fancy. They use them for tables as well as for houses. Suddenly there was a loud shout from a nearby toadstool house. Robbers! Burglars! Someone was leaning out of the window of a big toadstool house, pointing to the children. In a trice, all the rabbit gnomes woke up, and they came pouring out of their houses. Robbers! What are you doing here? Robbers! No, they're not robbers, said the Pixie, pushing his way through the crowd of excited gnomes. They're only children. They're just venturing here. How did you come? Asked the gnome at once. We came in our wishing chair, said Molly, and then she wished she hadn't answered, for the rabbit gnomes gave a yell of delight and rushed off to where the chair was standing in the moonlight. We've always wanted one. We've always wanted one, they shouted. Come on, let's take it safely to our cave where we'll hide our treasures. No, but it's ours, cried Peter. Besides, how shall we get back home if you take our chair? But the gnomes didn't pay any attention to him. They raced off to the chair, and soon there wasn't a tiny piece of the chair to be seen. For, to Peter's dismay, all the little gnomes had piled themselves into it and sat there on the seat. The back, the arms, everywhere was covered with gnomes. We're going to go on our treasure hunt, they shouted. The chair flapped its red wings and rose up. The gnomes gave a yell of delight. Woohoo! We're off! Goodbye! Oh, look, said Molly. There's something hanging down from the chair. What is it? It's a rope, said Peter. Oh, Pixie, you're a clever thing. You've tied the rope to the leg of the chair, and the other end is tied to that tree trunk over there. The chair can't fly away anywhere. It's stuck. No, said Chinky with a grin. It can't go anywhere. I know those rabbit gnomes. I may not know what these 3 times 7 are, but I do know what robbers these gnomes are. Well, they won't find it easy to get away. The chair rose up high until the rope was so tightly stretched that it couldn't go any further, and they stopped. Then the chair halted. It hovered in the air, flapping its wings, but not moving, not one little bit. The gnomes shouted at it and yelled, but it was no good. It couldn't go any further because it was stuck to the tree. Well, the gnomes are safe for a bit, said Chinky, grinning. Now, what about exploring the village properly, children? So, the two spent half an hour peeping into the toadstool houses, and Chinky gave them gnome cake and gnome lemonade, which were perfectly delicious. All this time, the gnomes were sitting up in the wishing chair, high above the trees, shaking and yelling at the children. They were certainly caught, but they couldn't go up or down. Now, we'd better go home, said Chinky suddenly, pointing to the east. Look, it will be dawn soon. Now, listen to me. I'm going to pull the chair down to earth again with your help. We will pull it down quickly, and it will land on the ground with such a bump that all the gnomes will be thrown off. Whilst they're picking themselves up, we'll jump in the chair and off we'll go. That's a good idea, grinned Peter. So he and Molly and Chinky went to the rope and they pulled hard, hand over hand. The chair came down from the air rapidly, and when it reached the ground, it gave such a bump that every single gnome was thrown off the chair. Oh, they cried. You wait, you wicked children. But they didn't wait. Instead, the three of them jumped into the chair and Peter called out, "Take us home, please!" Before the Grabbit Gnomes could take hold of the chair again, it had risen up into the air. But the gnomes pulled at the rope and down came the chair again. "Quick, cut the rope! Cut the rope!" shouted Peter. Oh, poor Chinky the Pixie. He was feeling in every one of his many pockets for his knife to cut the rope, but he couldn't find it. The gnomes pulled hard at the rope and the chair went down and down. Then Chinky the Pixie found the knife. He leaned over the chair arm and slashed the rope to cut it. At once the chair bounded up and was free. "Home!" sang Peter, delighted. "Talk about adventures! Everyone seems more exciting than the last. Where shall we go next?" And that is the end of chapter 3. So, there was another adventure. A few of you already predicted that they would be going somewhere else with the magic wishing chair. And this time they went to see some gnomes. So we were introduced to the word gnome. So what I want you to do is try and find out what a gnome is. And I'll give you a little clue. Sometimes you can find a little ornament gnome in your garden or maybe in your neighbour's garden. Okay, so can you find out what a gnome is? And the other question I want to ask you is, they talked a lot about toadstools, toadstool houses. Do you know what a toadstool is, and can you find out? Okay, so that is my question for you. That's your task, to find out what is a gnome and what's a toadstool, because we heard about those in the story. Okay, and you can tune back in for chapter 4. Okay, lovely to read with you all again. Take care and speak soon.